Hello there, Lake County Library. This is Christy Lewis at the Lakeport branch, and today I've got a book haul of a whole bunch of different kinds of books for you. So before I jump into it, I just want you to know that you can order any of these for free using the link to our catalog down below. We also have the titles and author names listed, so you can just copy and paste it straight into the catalog. And we also have lots of other really cool digital resources for free on our website, which is also linked down below. So definitely check that out if you want to look at some free classes, language learning, documentaries, like all kinds of really cool stuff. So definitely check it out. And several of these books are also available for free on ebook or audiobook. Definitely check it out. And now let's jump into the book haul. First of all, we have Just Like Mother by Anne Heltzel. This was a most anticipated title by Lit Reactor Book Riot, The Lineup, Goodreads, Bloody Disgusting, and more. And it's a modern gothic horror novel. And we are following Maeve. The last time Maeve saw her cousin was the night that she escaped from the cult where they grew up. For the past 2 decades, Maeve has been working in New York City to build herself a more normal life. And she keeps everything and everyone at a safe distance. When her cousin Andrea suddenly reappears in her life, Maeve regains the only true friend that she's ever had. Soon she's spending more time at Andrea's remote Catkill's estates than she is in the city. And Maeve doesn't even mind that all of her cousin's friends are kind of baby crazy, because Andrea has made her living in the fertility industry, so she just kind of expects that the people that are surrounding her are going to be very interested in fertility. But the more Maeve immerses herself in her cousin's world, the less connected she feels to the city, and their increasing attachment is starting to trigger memories from her time in the cult. But she is starting to realize that she's gonna have to face her kind of childhood demons if she's ever going to be able to move on with her life. And it sounds like there's more scary stuff to come in this book. It talks about there being a nightmare still to come in her future, so cultish horror novel. If Just Like Mother sounds good to you, you can order it for free down below. It's also available on ebook and audiobook, and it was published by Tor Nightfire in 2022. Next we have Alias Emma by Ava Glass. This is an Amazon editor's pick for best mystery, thriller, and suspense, and we are following Emma Makepeace. Nothing about Emma Makepeace is real, not even her name, but she's an eager new secret agent ready to serve her city, just barely graduated from basic training when she receives her first assignment, and it's a big one. Emma must covertly travel across London, bringing the reluctant and handsome son of Russian dissidents into protective custody before agents from the motherland assassinate him. But she has to do this all while staying off of the cameras that are famously covering London at all times, because the Russian government has hacked all of the CCTV cameras around the city, known as the Ring of Steel. So that means like taxis are out, trains are out, buses, cars, they're just gonna have to travel on foot the whole way, and they have to operate without phone or bank cards because those would reveal their location or identity. And they only have 12 hours to make it to safety. But when Emma's handler goes dark, there's no one left to trust, and any move could get her and the person in protective custody with her killed. Sounds like an intense first mission. If it sounds good to you, you can order Alias Emma down below. It's also available on ebook and audiobook, and it was published by Bantam in 2022. And I also should say, James Pattinson said, Emma Makepeace is a worthy heir to the James Bond mantle. That's pretty high praise. Next we have Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. This was an instant national bestseller, a Reese's Book Club pick, a TikTok book club pick, and the New York Times book review calls it sexy, messy, and wry. So it's supposed to be a side-splittingly funny and sparkling debut, full of romantic tension and intrigue that will just really hit you in the feels. So in this story, we're following a young Black British woman named Kiki Banjo, who is both sharp-tongued but also secretly soft-hearted. Unfortunately, Kiki has just made a huge mistake. She's the host of a popular student radio show, and her name on there is Brown Sugar, and she's made it her mission to make sure that the women of the Afro-Caribbean Society at Whitewall University do not fall into the mess of situationships and unhealthy relationships that are common on college campuses. But when the queen of unbothered finds herself kissing Malachi Corday, the guy she just publicly denounced on her show, she finds that her reputation and her job are now at stake. So soon the two of them are embroiled in a fake relationship to try and save face. And no matter how charming this player is, Kiki is determined that she is not going to give him her heart. but after a series of surprisingly funny study sessions and late night talks at a diner, Kiki has to start looking beyond her presumptions about Malachi and decide if she's ready to go that serious into a relationship. If Honey and Spice sounds good to you, you can order it for free down below. It's also available on ebook, audiobook, and book on CD, and it was published by William and Morrow in 2022. Next, we have The Local by Joey Hartstone. This is a legal thriller, which Michelle King, who is the co-creator of The Good Wife and The Good Fight and Evil, she says she just kept turning the pages like the best of Grisham and Turreau. So that sounds pretty good, right? So the story is set in the town of Marshall, where the federal courthouse of the Eastern District of Texas is located. It is revered by patent lawyers for its speedy jury trials and massive punitive payouts. Patent lawyers flood the town, finding work being the local voice for the big shot city legal teams that need to influence the local juries. One of the best of these patent lawyers is James Euchre, and his new client is Amir Zawar, a firebrand CEO who's being forced to defend his life's work against a software patent infringement. Now, when the judge in his case is actually found murdered in the parking lot after one of their initial hearings, Zawar is actually accused of murdering him because he has motive, opportunity, no alibi, and he's an outsider in the town. Euchre, our lawyer, was kind of a close friend to the judge, so he really doesn't want to take this case, but he also feels like, I need to find out what really happened, and this is the only way that I'm really gonna find out all those answers. So he decides to defend Zawar, but he's really just worried about who actually killed the judge and if he's gonna be setting a murderer free by defending the Zawar or not, and sounds really interesting. So if it sounds good to you, you can order The Local for free down below. It's also available on ebook and audiobook, and it was published by Doubleday in 2022. And finally, we have a nonfiction book called California Burning by Katherine Blunt. The subtitle of this is The Fall of Pacific Gas and Electric and What It Means for America's Power Grid. So this is already a national bestseller, and it's exploring the decline of California's largest utility company that has led to several very serious wildfires in Northern California, including the one that destroyed the town of Paradise. So we're going to be getting into, in this story, various cases of the fires and how the company evolved from innovators and visionaries, which established California as like a desirable home and an economic powerhouse, and how it has declined into criminal neglect of California's infrastructure, which is endangering Northern Californians. Katherine Blunt is a Wall Street reporter and a Pulitzer Prize finalist, and this book is supposed to be very deeply reported in a character-driven narrative, so that makes it easier to follow. And it's the story of a disaster that's expanding into a much bigger exploration of accountability. So I think there's a lot of time probably spent looking at who was in charge of the company and how that changed over the years and why it changed, what their motives were, and how that has affected the public ultimately. So that sounds very intense and interesting, especially for us Northern Californians. So if it sounds good to you, you can get it for free down below. California Burning is also available on ebook and audiobook, and it was published by Portfolio in 2022. And that is it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this book haul. Let us know down below if you're gonna order any of these or if you have any questions, because we really love to hear from you. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.